all, today we are going to learn about the Iron Age chapter 3. Now first come to the yellow box that is given aside. Now this yellow box tells us what we are going to learn and what are we going to come across while learning this chapter. First, about the life of the people in Iron Age. First, we will know about how the people lived during this age. Second, how iron came into use. Secondly, we will learn that how iron was extracted from the ores and how it was used by the people during that age. Discoveries made in the Iron Age. We will also learn that what new things were discovered during that age, what new things were made during that age. We all know that Iron Age is also known as later period or Neolithic age. Now let's start the chapter. The Bronze Age lasted from about 4000 BCE to 1200 BCE. During this period, weapons, agricultural tools, and other objects were made from bronze instead of stone, wood, bone, and copper, which was used in the Stone Age. Since bronze was much stronger than copper, it became the defining metal of that period. But it was soon replaced by iron, which was harder and stronger than bronze and hence ushered the Iron Age. Now, let's go through the first paragraph. Now, we have to know first of all that when the Bronze Age lasted. Bronze Age lasted from 4000 BC to 1200 BC. Okay, 4000 BC it started and 1200 BC it ended. Now, let me clear the doubt of why it started in 4000 and how it ended in 1200, because 4000 is more than 1200. Yeah, we go in the ascending order, we don't come in the descending order, but how is it coming here in descending order? Now, this is because in BCE the periods go in descending order from big to small. Okay, that is why here it started from 4000 BCE and ended in 1200 BCE. Clear? Now, during this age, weapons, agricultural tools, and other objects were made of bronze. Bronze Age made tools and all made of bronze. Stone Age tools were made of stone, wood, bone, and copper. Iron Age, iron. Got it? So, in Stone Age, agricultural tools, weapons were made of stone, wood, bone, and copper. Okay. Now, bronze was more stronger. Bronze was stronger than all these stone, wood, bone, and copper. So, bronze was used. Okay. And bronze became the defining metal of that period. Now, what does defining metal of that period mean? Defining metal of that period, this means that bronze became the metal that defined the period, that defined the Bronze Age. Then, it not more than time, it replaced by iron. Not much time took that it was replaced by iron afterwards. Now, we all know that iron is much stronger and harder than bronze. So, it ushered the Iron Age. Ushered means make a start of something new. Okay, it started a new age of Iron Age. Now, come to this what box. This box is very important. The term Stone Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age were developed by Christian Jurgensen Thompson. Now, the terms Stone Age and all were not discovered by Christian Thompson. Stone Age, the term, he named that period Stone Age, he named that period Bronze Age, he named that period Iron Age. Who? Christian Jurgensen Thompson. Okay, this name is very important. Then let's come to the first topic, Iron Age. Iron Age. The Iron Age started and ended at different times in different places. It started in the Middle East around 1200 BC and spread to Egypt, Greece, West Africa, Northern Europe, India, and East Asia. Humans had learned how to get iron from rock and how to make iron tools available in plenty. Iron was harder than copper and bronze. Iron was found in rocks called ores, which were melted at very high temperatures. So now, This Iron Age started and ended. It started and it ended at different times in different places. In different places it started, in different places it ended. At different times it started, at different times it ended, okay? It started in the Middle East around 1200 BC. First, it started in Middle East around 1200 BC. Bronze Age ended in 1200 BC, right? So Iron Age started in the Middle East. First, it's very important. First, when it started. So it started Middle East. Okay. First, it was started in Middle East around 1200 BC. And from Middle East, it spread to Egypt, Greece, West Africa, Northern Europe, India, and East Asia. Humans had learned how to get iron from rock and how to make iron tools. Now, iron was extracted from rocks. Okay, so it was extracted in rocks. So now people had learned that how to get iron, how to extract iron from rocks, and how to make tools from iron that is extracted from the rocks. Available in plenty, iron was harder than copper and bronze. Now, iron is found from rocks. So, rocks is available in plenty, full. Plenty means full. So, in India, it's full. The land masses are full of rocks. So, iron will also be found in plenty because it is extracted from rocks. That is why it's said that available in plenty, iron was harder than copper and bronze. That iron that is used in Iron Age, it is stronger than bronze that is used in Bronze Age, and copper that was used in Stone Age. Iron was found in rocks called ores. Now the rocks in which iron was found is called ores. Ores were melted at very high temperatures so that iron was extracted through it. Okay. The iron was hammered and heated in contact with charcoal, which made the iron harder and stronger. Now, this iron was hammered and heated in contact. Okay. Now, if the iron will not be hammered, if it is not beaten, then how will it be used to make different materials? That is why it was hammered. And then it was heated in contact with charcoal. It was heated with charcoal so that why it was heated with charcoal? It was heated with charcoal to make iron strong. Okay, when it was heated with charcoal, when it was hammered and then it was heated with charcoal, it made it stronger and harder. Then, during this age, groups and communities were formed, tribal states and kingdoms were developed, trading practices came into being. The potter's wheel was widely used, and even machines for grinding grain came into being. Farming techniques improved due to the introduction of new iron-based tools. This led to improved varieties of barley and wheat along with other new crops. Now, during the Iron Age, groups and communities were formed. That means different peoples formed one particular group, formed one particular communities, and then tribal states and kingdoms were developed. This means tribal states means the people of same tribe made their own state. So that is the meaning of tribal states. Kingdoms, we all know that a king is ruled in the kingdom, and then many people work under him. Then trading practices came into being. Now, during this Iron Age, trade flourished. Okay, the trade systems flourished. So trading practices were done. The potter's wheel was widely used. The potter's wheels was widely used means the potter's wheel is the wheel that is used for pottery. Let me show you the pic of it. Have a look in this picture. This picture is will help you understand what is potter's wheel. This in which he is making a pot. This wheel is known as potter's wheel. Okay. And even machines for grinding grain came into being. Now they also developed machines that the people can use to grind grain. It became easier for them. Farming techniques improved due to the introduction of new iron based tools. Now, iron tools were stronger and then it was also harder. So, now farming techniques like plowing and all, it became easier for the people. This led to improved varieties of barley and wheat along with other new crops. Now, if the farming techniques will be improved, then it is obvious that the varieties of wheat or varieties of crops will also improve. Let us read about the things that changed with the introduction of iron. Okay, wait. You know what? Did you know that pure iron was found in meteorites? The Egyptians called them black copper from the sky. Now, the pure iron. Now, see. Here, iron is mixed with charcoal to make it harder and stronger. Pure iron was found in meteorites. Okay, that is there in the space. So, that is why, as it was there in the space. Now, the other topic is agriculture. So, let us read about the things that changed with the introduction of iron. So, in this, the first topic is agriculture. Since Iron Age society was primarily agricultural, the use of iron was a boon to the people. Now, the Iron Age society, the Iron Age people were means they were dependent on agriculture. So that is why they have said that the society was primarily agricultural. The use of iron was a boon to the people. That means the use of iron became the blessings for the people, because because it became the boon to the people as iron tools were stronger and harder. That made them easier. That made easier for them to improve the farming techniques. Okay, because the tools were now stronger and much more effective, farming was no longer a very hard task. See, because of the tools, the farming was not a hard task for them now anymore. With the help of domesticated animals and the right tools, farming became much more easier. Now, because of domestic animals like cow and all, because of them and because of the iron tools, farming became easier for them. Iron plows called arts were more efficient than wooden plows. Let me show you the picture. You can see this. It is a kind of plow. Okay, so iron plows were called arts and it was very efficient than the wooden plows that were used in the Stone Age. More efficient than wooden plows, which meant that more land could be used for farming. Wooden plows means more land can be used for farming. As farming became more productive, the population also began to rise. Now, see, people depend on food. We all know that. So, as farming became more productive, as farming became more, it rose, it became good. So that is why the population, the number of people also increased. Because every people depend on food. They even practiced storing harvested crops in bell-shaped pits, which were about 7 feet deep. Okay, they also stored. Now, the food that they grew, they stored. They practiced to store that crops in a bell-shaped shape. Bell-shaped means like this. Something like this. Okay, a shape of a bell. So they stored those in pits, in bell-shaped pits, and those pits were 7 feet deep. Okay, their depth was 7 feet. Around 4,500 storage pits have been found at Denaburi in Hampshire. Since farming was so crucial to life of people who lived in this age, it is believed that religious festivals followed the same seasonal pattern based around the agricultural year. Now, around how much? Around 4,500 storage pits have been found. Where? Danbury in Hampshire. And this Hampshire is in England. Okay? This Hampshire is in England. So, since farming was so crucial to the life of the people who lived in the Iron Age, because the farming was very important for the people in Iron Age, it is believed that religious festivals, all the religious festivals also followed the same seasonal pattern based around the agricultural year. The Iron Age also saw the discovery of salt, which helped to preserve meat for winter use. Now, see, Iron Age is discovery of salt happened when? Which age? Discover salt discovered. Which age salt discovered? Iron Age. Now, what was the role of the salt? The role of the salt was to preserve the meat for the winter use. Now, the second thing that changed with the introduction of iron was tools. Apart from using tools such as sickles, swords, spears, and arrowheads, people were using iron axes and plowshares as well. Now, this plowshares is helped in farming. Okay, now people not only used sickles, swords, spears, and arrowheads, but now they also used iron axes and plowshares. That means now they also used the tools that were made of iron. Since the concept of communities was getting established, people had started making their territories. Now, as I told you, kingdoms and tribal states all were flourishing. So now a concept of communities also emerged, and now people had started to make their own territories. They also started making iron swords and other weapons which were used by armies of soldiers who traveled to different lands in order to occupy spaces liked. Now, what is swords? Swords is a kind of gun, okay, rifle. They also started making iron swords, and by whom was these iron swords used? These iron swords were used by the armies of the soldiers. Okay, now why they used? They traveled different places in order to occupy places. The army soldiers had these iron swords, and they traveled to different places, and they occupied all the areas that they liked. Okay, if they will like this area, they will occupy that area like that. This also led to the growth of power and concept of rulers. Now, because of this, because the armies and soldiers occupied the spaces, this led to the growth of power. Okay, and then the concept of rulers also emerged. Concept of rulers, that means kings. Now the kings ruled different areas. People lived in large tribes ruled by chiefs. Now, the people also means people lived in very large tribes. They formed their own tribes, and those tribes were ruled by whom? Those tribes were ruled by chiefs. Since forts were common during this period, tribes built hill forts to defend themselves from an attack. See, Iron Age war, all the wars or the kinds of battles were common during the Iron Age. So the tribes built hill forts so that they could defend themselves from their attack. Tribe means they made walls that covered them. High walls. Okay, built on hilltops, they were protected by wooded walls which kept the enemy out. They covered the area with trees, and those were built on the hilltops. That with the help of that, the enemies were out. That means the wooded wall helped the enemy to keep distance from the people. Okay, so now I will tell you the questions that are formed. Okay, here I'll tell you. Pottery. The early Iron Age saw improved quality pots. Wheel thrown pottery was introduced, unlike the previous periods where pots were made by hand. This also meant pots could be more symmetrical and could have a defined outline and smooth surface. Now, potter's wheel was introduced. So, in the help of this potter's wheel, the people of Iron Age made more well quality pots. Okay, in Stone Age and Bronze Age, the pots were made by hand, but now potter's wheel helped them to make pots. This also meant pots could be more symmetrical and could have a defined outline and smooth surface. Now, because of potter's wheel, pots were made of different shapes. some were more symmetrical, some were of other shapes and like that. And they had defined outline and also smooth surface. Now if they will ask, a question can be made here that describe the pots. Okay, right, made in Iron Age. So you have to write that the pots were made by the potter's wheels, and then you have to write pots could be more symmetrical and could have a defined outline and smooth surface. This will be the answer of this. Coins. Since improved agriculture and farming led to production of surplus grain, this is in turn paved path for flourishing trade. Grain was exchanged for tools, and this led to the development of trade practices. With increasing trade, coins began to be used for transactions. Archaeologists have found 5296 Iron Age and Roman coins at Hallerton in Leicestershire. Now, since improved agriculture and farming, they led to the large amount of grains. Okay, surplus means large amount. So, since the improved agriculture and the farmings, they led to the production of large amount of grains. So, this helped them to flourish trade. We all know that trade flourished, trade became in use practices. So grain was exchanged for tools, and this led to the development of trade practices. See, barter system. This is giving something to get something. This is known as barter system. So grain was exchanged for tools. Okay, so they gave the Iron Age people, they gave they gave grains, and then they took tools from the people from whom they used to do trades. With increasing trade, coins began to be used for transactions. Now, how will they pay? They not just followed the system of barter system. They also gave coins and bought tools and all. So, because the trade flourished in great speed, it took the great speed of going ahead. So coins began to be used for transactions. Transactions means buying and selling. So people used coins to buy and to sell all those things that they developed, and they flourished. Archaeologists have found who are the archaeologists? Archaeologists are the people who study history and prehistory. Okay, so they have found 5296 Iron Age and Roman coins. What they have found? Iron Age and Roman coins at Hallerton in Leicestershire. This is important. Then conclusion. Since the Iron Age is a part of prehistory, when humans had not started writing, the period ended once writing became widespread. So, this period ended when writing became widespread, means something that is spread. Okay, widespread means that is spread, the thing that is spread all around the world. Do you know what? Inscriptions on Iron Age coins are the first evidence of writing in Britain. Now I told you that I will tell you what the question can be made here. So here the question can be made that how the people defend themselves. Okay, as the wars were common during this time, how people defend themselves. So the answer will be from here to here. Okay, now let's come to I learned. The discovery of iron, which was harder and stronger than bronze, assured the Iron Age. Iron was found in rocks called ores, which were melted at very high temperatures. See, these teachers most probably frame questions from I learned, so it's better that you read if anything has missed out. Okay, the get set go exercise is easy, very easy. So we'll just discuss the question answers. Okay, get set go exercise can test you even. If you are unable to understand any of the answer, you may ask to me in the comment box. Now, answer the following questions. How did the life of early people change from Stone Age to Bronze Age? See, this question is not there in this chapter, so you have to go to chapter number 2. Okay? Come to chapter 2, settled life. Okay? And then come to page number 10. In Stone Age, you will find some points. You will find some points like the Paleolithic humans, the Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age was also known as Paleolithic age. So all these points, the Paleolithic age humans led the life of hunter-gatherers. They used stone weapons. This is the most important thing, that Stone Age people used stone weapons and Bronze Age people used bronze metals. Okay, weapons and all. Then you can write from here. See. First, you have to write that Stone Age people used stone tools and all, copper and all. Then you have to write after the Stone Age ended, humans started using metals and hence started the Bronze Age. At the beginning of the Bronze Age, copper was used along with stone to make tools and weapons. Therefore, the first half of the Bronze Age is called the Chalcolithic period or Copper Stone Age. But since copper was too soft and required regular sharpening, this led to the discovery of bronze. So this whole paragraph you have to write for the answer of question 1 in the chapter number 3. Okay. How did the life of early people change from Bronze Age to Iron Age? This you will get in this chapter itself. First paragraph. From Bronze Age to Iron Age. Okay. You can shorten it up if you want. Third question. How was iron discovered? Who were the first people to use it? This answer I told you. The people of the Middle East were first to use it. And how was iron discovered? Here. It is given here. How it was discovered. This part. Okay. Middle East. People were the first to use them in around 1200 BC. Then, last question. What were some major changes in the world of agriculture during the Iron Age? Here, this part. Now, for your betterment, I thought of making notes for this chapter. So, I'll show you the notes now, right now. All the questions are framed. If you learn all of those, it's better for you. It will help you to score good marks. I will show the notes. Take a pic of it for your betterment. Here is it. Thanks for watching. Comment for more chapters. Bye.